Hi there, Mark here again, and today I'm going to show you how I do the cockpit set for the wonderful Tamiya 037. So the first thing to do is have a good look at the manual. We can see here exactly where we need to cut out that cockpit itself. It's made of very thin plastic, but it's not Lexan, so we don't need to worry about Lexan paints. And here it shows us the colours we need, so I've just got approximately the colours. It says here I've got a silver there, I've got blue, I've got flat black, I've got flat white, and I've got flesh. But the main body of the cockpit has got to be flat black. And as it's not Lexan, just any old tin of kind of cheap multi-purpose spray paint will do. So I'm going to be using this. And after that we'll be putting the driver's helmets together and detailing those as well. So here's the cockpit itself. As I said, it's made of very thin kind of flexible plastic, but the lighter the better. It just suits the job. And as you might be able to see, I've put some masking tape around the driver figures. That's because I'm just going to blast over the whole thing with that matte black, and I've got to paint these white mainly afterwards, and it really is quite tricky getting that XF flat white over a black background. So yeah, it's just very rough to stop most of the black getting onto them, and it will just make that painting job that little bit easier. Right, so I'll get this cut out and I'll get the black paint on it. So here it is with the black paint on, and as you can see I've cut it down as the instructions show. There's really no overlap left on the front there, really trimmed right back. There's a little bit at the back, so I think you've got to apply the Velcro to that at the back there. But yeah, and these holes, they're enormous holes you have to cut into it, but that's what the instructions say, so that's what I've done. So I'll just try and peel some of this masking off the driver figures themselves. Okay, so there's one, as you can see, the big difference, and that's going to be a lot easier now to paint the detail onto that driver figure. Okay, so before I start painting, I'm just going to assemble the driver's helmet and the co-pilot's helmets. So just clip the two halves together, and you need to put a screw in the back to hold it together, but as you can see there is a rather unsightly line where the two halves join, and I really don't like that. So I'm going to rub that down, smooth it off, but to be able to do that without leaving a crack in there, I suggest that you need to put some plastic model cement along the join, and it'll kind of melt the two halves of the plastic together and there won't be a gap. So this is an old pen that I've got that you just wipe on. It's really useful. Just get plenty of glue onto the mating surfaces and just pop that together. Now I can put the screw in the back, and when that dries I shall rub down that join. So I'm just starting off the cockpit by having a go at the spare wheel. Since the wheels are silver on the actual Lancia 37, I'm going to paint this silver, as you can see. Okay, so it's not perfect, but it's okay for a first coat. That silver paint, the Tamiya paint, covered really well. So we'll get onto the driver's suits. So that's the base coats of white on. Don't worry if you go over the edges just a little bit. You see I have there. It's easy to tidy that up. I'll show you that afterwards. So now it's just time to go in with the colours. So I'm going to put the red on the seat belts, and the gloves are going to be blue, and I'm also going to accent the top of the suits in blue as well, because I've looked at some photographs of the driver's suits from back in those days, and they did have like a blue flash along there, so I'm just going to go with that anyway. There's no way I'm going to be able to paint all this on camera because it's really tricky enough as it is when you're not on camera. But basically, yeah, just using a brush. Go as steady as you can. Doesn't matter if you slip up a little bit, because we can, like I said, tidy some of this up later. Okay, so I'll just carry on with this. So that's the red on for the seat belts. I've just put one coat on. I might put another coat on, and you can also see I've used a Sharpie pen, and I've just marked that line in black there where I'm going to paint the top of the suits blue. And I'm going to use this acrylic paint. It's dead cheap. It's artist paint, but it's waterproof, and I do like the finish this gives. You probably need a couple of coats but like I say, I do like this paint, so let's have a go at the blue. As you can see, I do like using these square edge brushes because you get a nice crisp line when you're trying to match up to an existing line like this. Okay, so I'll just finish this, let it dry. This paint does dry very quickly, and probably another couple of coats, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we're getting there now. I made a bit of progress. You see the blue's done, and I've decided to go with flesh coloured on the co-pilot's hands because they don't look like gloves to me. So yeah, so we can use his paperwork. So now it's time to get the silver out, and I'm going to have a go at the buckles on the harnesses. So yeah, again, bear with me because this is difficult to do on camera. Okay then, so that'll do for now, and it's just time to get on with a few detailing touches. And now I'm just going to add a bit of detail with a fine Sharpie pen. And now I'm just going to clean up some of these rough edges with a paintbrush where I've overpainted the white. Yep, that's looking a bit better now. So you might be able to see here I've added a bit of kind of a dirt effect or shadow effect to the suits using a water soluble acrylic pencil and a brush, and you might be able to see the effect around there, just watered it in. And now I'm just finishing off all the driver's suits, and especially the shiny stickers and that glossy red that I had with some matte clear varnish, and that just tones it all down a bit. And yeah, it gives it a much nicer finish, I think, especially like I said, the stickers. I'm just covering over. I found a few stickers extra to put on, just toning those down a bit, and it'll also help stop them from peeling back up. Here's one of the driver's helmets that's been rubbed down and sprayed, as you can see, just a bit of gloss white, and I hope you agree you can see a real difference by just rubbing that mould line off. It looks so much better. And you can also see there's a bit of masking tape on there, but that's just to help me guide the brush around the bottom, try not to get any paint all over the side of the helmet. So I'll just get on with a bit of matte black now and try and start detailing these helmets. As you can see, I'm using a skewer or a stick so that can hold it steady, and I can turn the stick and keep my brush steady, and makes it a bit easier for me. Then I just use a cocktail stick to draw the slots in the vents on the front of the helmet. Like so, just use the stick as a brush. And you can also use the cocktail stick to do the pupils of the eye. Like so. I know the instructions say to put the sticker down here, but I want to keep those vents, so I'm going to put it on the top. I think it'll look good up there. Bit of flame always helps them stick down a bit better. So there you go, there's the driver and the co-driver. Just need to fit these onto the interior. Now the manual does show to cut two 8mm holes, as you can see here, in the front of the dash, but I found that you don't need to do that if you just glue on the windscreen wipers instead of using the snap pin and the O-rings. If you can see, but I've cut off the tabs that protrude through, and so you don't need to cut those holes in the body. And here is the completed or finished interior. I'm quite pleased with the way it's turned out. It's been a bit of a labour of love. I think I've gone probably a bit over the top. You won't see a lot of the detail, but when it's in the car. But I think if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing as best as you can. And as you can see, I've been working on another interior. This one's for my Subaru. I'm going to do the helmets in gold on this, but as you can see, you can have a go at different designs for the soup colours. It's all a bit of fun, really. And as I said, it's a little bit difficult to see through with the smoke windows, but you get the idea, you see the effect there. And yeah, so that brings this video to a close. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Cheers!